We are Mariah and Colby. We drove across country from Florida to San Carlos, Mexico with our two cats, Namiria and Took. We are coming back for another cruising season in the Sea of Cortez on our sailboat Tigerlily. We hope you'll follow along and subscribe!
We went and fit the sail this morning and it looks awesome. Very excited for it. Excited to sail with it. Last night I kind of started on making dinghy chaps. You can see I have a template made up there out of the clear isinglass stuff that I have. And now I just gotta make templates for this section and then that section. A little bit deflated right now on purpose just because you're supposed to fit everything when it's slightly deflated. So that way when you put it on and pump it up, it'll fit tight. So that's the plan. So let's get this next section done, shall we? I have got the dinghy chaps, the templates done. The hardest part is this rounded back here. I'm still not 100% with how it's going to turn out, but I have extra material that's going to go back here, so if I mess up, it's not the biggest deal. I think I'm pretty much ready to start cutting out, so we'll do a few test pieces with some material we don't care about until we actually start cutting out of the color that the dinghy is going to end up being. So I've got material out and I've already cut the bow piece here. Let me get it kind of situated here. Bow piece, there we go. I got the bow piece cut and I am cutting out or tracing out the front starboard bow section, and then I'll cut that out and test fit it. And that's what I gotta do for the entire thing. When I made the templates, I tested them on both sides to see if they fit, but before I just start cutting, I'll test fit them all and make sure they fit, because what may end up happening is that I either have to adjust where the holes are or where anything's on that, or make all new templates for the port side, which is fine. I had the material to do it, it's just time consuming. So let's get this one traced out and cut and test fit, and then we'll see where we are at after that. so I got the starboard side chap made, and I just flipped around and put it on the port side just so I can see, make sure everything is going to fit well. The only thing that's going to have to move is this hole will have to come out this way when I cut the chap for the port side. Besides that, everything else lines up. Everything else that pokes through, and the handles. So now I am going to trace that one out again, move the hole over a little bit like I said, and then I'll have the port and starboard dinghy chaps. I made a little bit of a mistake with this one, went too far over or something, but here, I'm just gonna mark a line where it needs to be cut out a little bit more. And then I'll fix that with the trim pieces that I put on, I think. All right, so the dinghy chaps cutouts are done, except for these aft pieces, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Anyway, so that's done, and now I'm going to start working on cutting out the the vinyl reinforcements. Instead of doing a binding around the edges, I'm going to put two vinyl pieces together and sandwich it to protect the edges. So there's me a vinyl piece that goes over this, basically where every single cutout is. Got the vinyl template done here, so I got some marks in there because I'm going to add a little bit of material on certain sides to make it side a little more snug and hide all the sailrite or all the blue material underneath it. I just got to cut out two more for the backing and then I get to sew those on. I'm stopping what I'm doing right in the middle so we can go check on the boat real quick. Mariah's getting in the car. Yeah, and we're gonna go check on the boat and see how far the fiberglass people got done today. See the fiberglass. It looks good. So the kind of downside is that you can't really see the fiberglass work's been done because what's going on is clear. When they do the finishing, then it will look a lot better. But yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Good morning on day, what is it, day 2 of dinghy chaps, 2.5. Yesterday I got this patch on there, the vinyl, and it's sewed in. It actually looks pretty good. And now I've got the port side patch that I've got to sew together. And then that's what I'm working on today. I have a few errands to make today, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to stop and leave. But that's my thing for today, is getting patches together, and then that's probably gonna take me all day. Very exciting. Still don't know what I'm gonna do about these rounded parts back here. I'm part of a few sewing Facebook groups, so I sent out a question. We'll see if I get any answers back. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sew the patches on this port side, and then we can go do our errands. Obviously evening. We have some neighbors throwing a party. Today, let's see, it's Sunday. Both Mara and I woke up with sore throats, and so we went to the pharmacy this morning to get some medicine, which helps a lot. Something happened with the sewing machine where it wasn't sewing quite right. So I spent pretty much the whole day trying to figure out what that was, which ended up being a small little tensioner tab on the bobbin holder. I don't need to go into detail, but now it's, I don't know, what is it, 6 o'clock, something like that, and since I feel like I got nothing done today because I was spending the whole day troubleshooting that and feeling like poopy, I am going ahead on sewing the patches on the dinghy chaps. So you can see here, all those, I got all the patches cut, and then these ones are already sewn down, but I gotta base these ones down on there, and then sew those in place and just do that for each side. Good morning. Yesterday I got the patches all sewn on for the aft starboard tube. And you can see I have all the rest of the patches already cut out, ready to go for the port side. Right now I'm going to sew those patches on, and then I think before I sew these pieces, and I also finished the stitching over the front here, and it looks a lot better than it did. Fits a lot better than it did. And I think before I sew the aft tube onto the front section, I need to figure out what I'm doing here, because I've been kind of avoiding it because I'm not entirely 100% sure, because in the Sailrite video, it's a cone-shaped aft end, which is a little bit easier to make a template for than a spherical shape, which is kind of what this is. So today I'll be figuring out that, but first I'm going to do the one thing I can do, and that is sew patches on. So when I made the template, I drew out the circles for for everything, right? And cut it out. This is for the air filler in the tube. And when I made the patches, I measured each item and made a patch that was exact match to it, to the dimensions, and this was just more of a guesstimation. You can see the hole here is smaller, so I'm gonna mark it and then cut it out a little bit bigger so you don't see the blue underneath when we put the cover back on. So that's it. Making mistakes, that's what I'm here doing. While I was putting patches on the port tube, made this awesome winch cover that we're gonna go try on the boat later today. But it's very exciting because I've always wanted winch covers and just never got around to it. But anyway, so there is all the patches sewn on. These ones back here, which fit nice and tight, and everyone else it looks good. So my next goal for today is trying to figure out how I'm going to do this rounded section right here. So that's what I'm going to work on next. I just got the text from the fiberglass that's saying they are done. So that is exciting, but I got to put my butt into gear and getting this stuff done so I can get back to the boat and get chain plates back in and start getting that all done. So I've kind of come up with a solution. We'll see how this works. Obviously, so I made out some panels here and trace them, so it's going to be a 3-part section, and it's going to go together kind of like that. Obviously this is a distance right here, so I'm going to add material right there, but so these 2 panels will be the Fiberglass. I think this one's going to be a little like extension of the cloth here. So a little extension and then fiberglass all back here. And then I may have to add down here maybe a little bit of that vinyl, just because sewing the fiberglass together may not look all that great, but we'll see what happens when we get there. But let's try making one of those. This one, I just want to kind of test fit everything and see how it looks. And first thing I'm going to do is sew this piece, and it's kind of one of those things that, like, after you do it, you kind of commit it. So I was gonna sit here and just think about it for a second before I pull any triggers. I didn't do that, I'm sorry, Mariah. Anyway, all right, I got that piece sewn on. And now it's time for this piece. I gotta cut it out of fiberglass first. I'm just double checking its fit. And we will see. The fit is good. Pretty much. Yeah, see, you can see the fit is good, but I did the stitch on the wrong side. Alright. We'll see. We'll see if it works okay. Okay, we are at the boat. Mariah's not going on, but as you can see, our fairing is on the deck, and that can be kind of sanded smooth. But I've got a little bit more fiberglass to do, and it's not quite set yet, still a little bit tacky, but I'm able to climb over it. Mariah's not going to try, which I don't blame her. Legs probably aren't long enough, but here we're going to try her winch covers. That goes over. It has the bungee, so it can't come off, and then there we go. And she fits. All right, well, I've been going like crazy today. Since our fiberglassing is done on the deck, I'm trying to kick it into high gear and get this dinghy chaps done. So let me show you where I ended up here. So here's the aft end. It's not as pretty as I would like it to be, but I'm not sure how else to do it. Both of them I sewed together and then put on, and it didn't fit quite right, or it was puckered too much, so I had to redo them both twice. And they're a lot better than they were. Still not 100% to my standards, but they're gonna have to do because I have stuff to get done. So now, the thing I want to get done tonight, and the last thing, is sewing the pieces together.